I continue with this video, I have to make a disclaimer, especially concerning the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. I do not hate people, okay? I am not a people hater. In fact, I am a promoter of peace. And if you check on all my social media profiles, I promote a peaceful coexistence of people cross-culturally and cross-religiously. And I live in a multicultural society where this is possible to do, and it's a beautiful thing. But I have a problem with any system, especially governmental systems that have oppressed people, and they exploit people and suppress their freedom and their peace. I have a problem with people that are intimidators, intimidation of truth, intimidation of our voices so that we cannot express ourselves, so that they can continue to do their evil deeds and nobody can hold them accountable. And I have a problem with people who are imposters, who claim to be what they are not and try to fool humanity. So I want to say, as tough as I talk, I come in peace and love for humanity. And I'm just bringing my voice to create as an equalizer, okay? And if somebody's on the wrong side, I would say always, like a parent, I feel that I have the gift to confront those situations, to make that child be a better person. And so in this talk that I have, in this topic, I only want the best for humanity. And I pray for peace in this world, and I've prayed all my life. Hello and welcome to African Living Abroad. I am Jamhuri, and I'm here to share my international experiences, build bridges between cultures with the hope of making the world a better place. And I consider myself a social observer, an interpreter and commentator of social events, and a storyteller. South Africa has taken the first step to be the leader to sue Israel at the International Criminal Justice Court for crimes against humanity through ethnic cleansing and genocide. I think this is a big game changer in the world, big game changer in world powers. And we might be witnessing a shift in leadership internationally. In this video, I'm going to share five reasons why South Africa has stepped up to take responsibility while the rest of the world is sleeping. Not really sleeping, watching and being silent. Why? And I would like to say congratulations to South Africa for doing this, because every year we do Remembrance Day on November 11, okay, especially in the world that I live in, the country that I live in. And we would like to remember all the wars that have happened in the world and to say never again will we sit back and watch. And year after year, we sit back and watch when there is a war. And we needed a country, a leadership like South Africa to step up and say, no more. And they say they want to be counted. And it is moving. It is very moving for humanity. And that's the right thing to do. And you see, speaking justice for humanity is godly. Pointing out wrongs is godly. It's a godly responsibility for godly people. And I might go as far as saying it is actually prophetic. It is prophetic. I mean, the task of a prophet to do that. If you know your scripture, if you know your scriptures well. But I'm not here to talk about religion. That is a whole other topic. So first is occupation. Occupation of the land, the territory of the Palestinian people. The people of South Africa, they understand this very, very well because of the foreign powers that have come to their country and made the rules how people should live and did their brutal things to displace them, to group them in the townships, to take their best lands and to shut them up. And whenever South Africans rose to defend themselves, they experienced brutality. Because the aim of the colonizer is to make the local people disappear, okay? Because it's about, I will have to say right up front, it's about resources. Land, physical land is a great resource. And more than physical land, what lies underneath the land. So South Africa is quite familiar with occupation. Number two, South Africa is reliving trauma over again. And I might say also people of indigenous countries, as they watch or as we watch what's going on in these wars, and especially this Israel-Palestinian war, people are reliving their own traumas of the time that their ancestors were colonized, the brutality. I mean, as I talked in my previous video, there is what I call the template of colonization. And so even as we watch what's going on, South Africa is familiar with apartheid, the segregation of people, okay? Police and military brutality, and the random shootings and imprisonments. And I have to say that these foreign occupiers, foreign countries that zoom themselves into a foreign land, I would been thinking about it, and it equates to an inflated bullying attitude. Okay, I've worked in schools and I've seen bullies. And these international occupiers or foreign countries or leaders or colonizers, they are bullies that start to take maybe the kids' lunch and then take the kids' chair. And now they've taken the land, they've taken the freedom, they've taken the lives even of the people. I mean, that, if you want to, it all falls under bullying, international bullying of the highest magnitude. And people who've been colonized, and I would say including my own country of birth, we understand this very well. And in 2024, we are seeing this happening. And I think that enough is enough. Number three, Black South Africans, even if at that time of apartheid, even if they protested as much as they did, the world watched, and they had no sympathizers. I mean, Western countries who prided themselves of being the first to help countries that are suffering, they were silent. They had the power to change things for South Africa. And looking back now, they were silent. And I think South Africa is realizing nobody is going to go to help the Palestinians. Those that claim to be, coming to fight for peace, where are they right now? And so South Africa is realizing that unless they did something, the Palestinians are all by themselves. And so now, South Africa has experienced their peace, their freedom. I think they still have a long way to go. And congratulations to you, but they're paying it forward. They're paying it forward. And I'm so grateful that now on January 14th, many more countries have stepped up to join South Africa. See, the oppressors of South Africa were untouchable. Okay, no matter how loud South Africa screamed and protested, their oppressors were seemingly untouchable. And we're seeing the same thing with Israel. Israel has made itself and the Israeli government untouchable, okay? And they have made rules and they intimidated people from criticizing them. And this has to be broken, okay? We cannot watch and see things like that escalate to that magnitude. And you cannot say, well, just deal with what's going on now. We have to look at the root of it. And that's where people have been pushing Israel to say, look at where you came from, okay? I mean, the beginning of your state. That is when the problem began. It's not now, okay? Now is an escalation. So South Africa, right now, standing up and saying, we see that this is a genocide, as ethnic cleansing. They do understand this. Number 4, South Africa has earned the right to stand up and to be the first country to take the risk and say, okay, we have nothing to lose. We have lost so much. And this vicarious trauma is too much to take by South Africans, Black South Africans, and I'm sure every South African can see this picture unfolding, and they can see, yeah, this is what we did. And I hope that the whole of South Africa, I'm sure they can see the picture unfolding, and they can look at themselves and see themselves mirrored back. Okay, this is so clear. And that's why many people have really sympathized, followed up with South Africa. And one of the reasons I think people could not step up earlier was because of what I mentioned before, that intimidation by Israeli government and the Zionists to say, oh no, you cannot call us this. You cannot call us to responsibility, because then you are against us. Then you hate us. But this is not about hating the Israelis. I believe people do not hate the Israelis. We were just saying, you are our fellow human beings, and we're saying, no, you are wrong in this. Please stop. Please stop. So there's no hate. If you understand how a family has to have a family talk when things are tough, and to say, no, you've done wrong. You got to change that, or it engulfs all of us. Okay? The other day, somebody asked me, would you hate me if I was a racist? And right away I said, no, I would not hate you, but I would hate your attitude. Okay, I would hate your racist attitude. So we can separate that. So Israel, I don't think people hate you. Maybe some do, but we want you to step up and live like real human beings that have feelings, okay? And I have this question, if, let's say, all of us are experiencing vicarious trauma or reliving the colonization, what happened to us and our parents, okay, and our grandparents, I wonder, why is Israel so numb about it? Can't you not feel that you're doing something wrong? Okay, I know you are being fought also from the other side by the Palestinians, but isn't there a point where you can say, this is wrong? This reminds us of what happened to our parents, our grandparents in Europe, during the Holocaust. Why don't you feel that? And why do you dish that out? What they live through? And I can only explain it in one way and say, psychologically, it's said that people that have been hurt, if they do not heal, they will hurt other people. So maybe it's both. Maybe Israel is numb and hurt and is continuing to hurt people. We are trying every way to understand you. Okay? Number 5. What South Africa has done is like we will see a separation of the wheat from the chaff or the chaff, okay? And it's going to create a separation of who is for the Israelis, who is for the Palestinians. And it's, I think people will panic. And it will show what is really at stake, okay? Why don't some people step up? Why don't other African countries step up? And I think that fear is a number one thing for African countries, okay, to step up. And they have their own problems, with their own colonizers. And there is a shift in Africa. And so, but nevertheless, it's no excuse. There is no excuse in this, okay? But as these are the recently 15 countries have joined South Africa to the International Criminal Justice Court. Where is USA? Where is France? Where is Great Britain? Because, I think that we have left out those 3 countries, and they were the instigators of this resettlement of the Zionists in Israel and in the Palestinian territory. France, and Great Britain. They were there in creating this this situation, okay? Because they were already colonizing the Middle East. And this is with the blessings of USA. And sadly, I have to say, with the cheerleading of Christians, okay? Including myself at that time. I had no idea what was going on. But now I know why this is wrong, okay? It's been revealed to me exactly what's going on, and I've changed my mind about supporting Israel. This is not the Israel that I am supporting, okay? This is not it, okay? It's a different Israel. Many of you understand this, and I think even Israel and the Zionists understand what I mean. And so we should hold also France and Israel, and UK and America responsible for this. And that's why probably they're staying away. But there's also another big problem. The question is, what have they invested in this war? Because every war, as we know it now, and I'm saying again, the age of things being concealed, the human mind being concealed, not knowing what's going on, is over. It's over. And now it's a time of revelation. And we know that every war makes money, and people buy stocks, military stocks, create even war to make money. And how sickening is that? And so we can clearly say those who are not stepping up, they have something invested in that war, okay? And so they have a lot to lose when there is peace. Oh my goodness, this is so sickening. And so let's watch and see this separation of the wheat from the chaff, or the chaff. And we are all sick and tired of this war. And we do not need the permission of, I want to say, Israel. I don't think that you need the endorsement of USA to stop this war. But again, we know the complicated relationship that you have with USA. You can stop by yourself, okay? And people, is USA, we do not need you to stop the war, There's enough people right now rising to stop the war. And I want to say that we can't stop the war. And if you are a person, a YouTuber, somebody with a voice, please, it's the time of being quiet is over. Okay? And there might be a risk to speaking. But if you have that, what I call the prophetic voice of justice, okay, speak out. Speak out. We do not want to watch. These gifts were given to speak. They are for times like this as well, not only for the good times. And so let's step up as humanity. And I want to challenge songwriters, please, put up your songs, write songs about this time, make hit songs. We want to sing along with you. We want it because songs also change the world. Poetry changes the world. Art changes the world. Let's rise up. Let our voices rise up in whichever way. And let's stop this war. Let's stop this war. And soon we will see which emperors have no clothes on and which empresses have no clothes on. You know what I mean? I'd like to ask you that if you like this message, just give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, it's the same. I would like to hear your opinion. Please comment on the comment section. And if you find that it was, worth sharing, I would encourage you to share. And it won't hurt for you to subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. Until next time, I'd like to just challenge you to do what you were created to do in this earth. And you know it. I want to just encourage you to step up and do it. You are not alone. You are not alone in this.